Really appreciate the update here. Ni hao in the chat. Hyperion said, "What the hell am I doing?" We were asking the exact same thing, Hyperion.
I didn't even notice. Did Hyperion type in chat before he left?
He did, yeah.
Oh.
He typed war something something something.
Thank you for
of course, meaning I.
Yeah, thank you so much for the translation.
You're welcome.
I like that he himself was confused with what he was doing.
I like that. Yeah, I like that we're on the same wavelength here.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of confused, we are probably not going to be confused for too much longer here in this series. Not quite the qualifying match yet. This is the pre-qualifying qualifying match, if you want to call it that. Here in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way to the top right-hand corner of 2000's Atmosphere. LE. The yellow Protoss player coming down from the land of China. He is representing Team Salt. Salty. He is ReWhite.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Chinese Terran player. He is red, also representing Team SLT. He's doing it for you, Jackie. It is Blueming.
This is Jenny Kim's boyfriend all over again, isn't it?
I don't know. Jackie, like, who is Jackie? Is Jackie, like, is it a person? Is it, like, Jackie Chan? Is it, like...
Oh, that's my headcanon from here on out.
Is it a jacket? I don't...
I just made a bit of a typo.
Yeah, like, who is this? I have no idea, but it's beautiful.
It is. Jackie, you're beautiful, wherever you're at.
True love, mate. True love. Boy. And yeah, we'll see how this series plays out. Obviously, Blueming has had a pretty... Oh my god, even recalls the probe.
I gotta be honest, I forgot you could do that as a Protoss player. Thankfully, Yuki did not. He is able to get that probe out of there.
Does manage to escape, is able to keep that worker alive. You know, it does matter, and I guess, you know, he didn't plan on spending his energy on too much otherwise. And I'm really curious to see how Jackie Love or how Blueming is going to play this out, because I was just quickly checking the bracket, and Blueming has also been on a little bit of a roll in this bracket as well.
Yeah, hasn't seemed to have dropped a map yet, similar with Yuki. And I'm hoping we get to see why that is. Now, Jackie going for a bit more of an aggressive scout with double Reaper Hellion. Is he gonna go triple? No, he's on triple Reapers. Yeah, he's go triple Reaper.
Oh my god, so aggressive here. Meanwhile, the Adept does see the first two Reapers. We'll see if with some good enough micro, Yuki's maybe even snipe one of these Reapers before he gets away with the Adept.
Almost! Very, very close.
Jesus. Here we go. We do have both Reapers coming across the map. I imagine the third. Yep, the third is on the way.
As is the second Hellion. And I can't imagine Jackie will get too much damage done. Well, it depends, of course, how Yuki is able to position his army. This is actually a pretty good SimCity.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Jackie Love will be able to get in and get as good of a scout as he wants, unless he's able to utilize that Reaper ramp.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love this SimCity. I love the wall that has been thrown down. Even if the KDA charges do hit the army, like, you know, there's not that many avenues that the ground army of Jackie Love can really maneuver around. So, nice defense there.
It's all about that Reaper ramp. Blueming is playing completely blind right now, and that is super, super worrisome, Light, because look at what's on the way right now for ReWhite. That is probably the earliest you can get the Robo Bay as a Protoss player.
All right, question. Is it going to be Colossus drop or Disruptor drop?
Well, he's getting the Warp Prism, so immediately...
It's one of them, mate. Which one?
Well, yeah, I feel like Disruptor drop would be a little bit more awkward if you don't have Warp Prism speed yet, but I mean, it's not too late. He could get it, and with Chrono Boost, he should be able to get it in around the same time as
there it is.
Disruptors. He's going for disruptors. Oh, I love to see it.
We should see Warp Prism speed start soon on the Robotics Bay. That's typically ideally how you do this. Colossus drops are a little bit more standard. Like we do see them a little bit more frequently. And you can do a lot of damage with them. Yeah, shout out to Nina. She's the name who comes to mind when it comes to that. This can do a lot of damage, but a lot of it does rely on your opponent and how they micro. Speaking of,
it really will. Yeah, speaking of micro, I feel like Blueming does not care about his mineral lines anymore. Now, Yuki knows that the army is coming his way. Super important to be able to see that with the Warp Prism, but he actually doesn't know it's the army. He thinks it's just the Hellions.
Yeah, he doesn't see the rest, and he's completely out of position as well. Oh my god, Yuki, please!
We're going to base trade.
He's not going across the map. Okay, he does come back to help defend against this. The tanks do siege up, but here comes the Warp Prism.
And if it can get behind the tanks and throw a good purification over it like so, I was gonna say mistiming it a little bit, not getting the tanks, but he is able to wipe out the bunker and deal with the SCV over there. Start to really bleed out gateway units, though.
I don't know if that was the best use of the purification of it, to be honest. Like, focusing on the bunker instead of the tanks or instead of the Marines, like, it didn't really do too much there. Here comes the next shot, and oh my god, no reaction!
One of the most perfect purification overs you can get on top of Marines. More reinforcements are starting to come in. And Blueming has such a good position. Look at the spread on those tanks.
Yeah.
Look at the positioning on those bunkers. It is going to be insanely difficult for Jackie Love to get the most use out of his AoE. He can't even get on top of these Banshees right now.
Oh my god, and now the workers are under threat. They're going to be going down, and as you said, like, these tanks are the most difficult thing to deal with. He just needs to wait a little bit more, and then charge will finish, and so will all these gateways.
He needs to buy himself so much time. He can't afford to lose these stalkers. Thankfully, he does have eyes on the entire army right now, and Warp Prism speed finished up, so he can buy himself even more time that he needs.
Yeah, that he can. Meanwhile, no, the Warp Prism! Oh my god, almost went down! No, please!
Started! The Warp Prism and 2 disruptors go down. GG.
The all-army hockey, ay. Yuki, no, not like this. He was doing so well. I don't know if you noticed, but he actually killed 2 of the tanks. He used his disruptors to take down 1, and then he moved forward with his stalkers and killed the other. He just needs to wait a little bit longer for those chargelets.
My head is in my hands right now. Like, that was the most patience Warp Prism. That was patience's Warp Prism is what that was.
Oh god, he could have held.
Please.
He was on the road to victory, mate. It was there. It was within sight, and then
he just needs to hold and counter attack.
He just needs to hold. He just needs to hold position that Warp Prism. You know, he just needs to just keep it back. Oh god.
But in the end, it was not meant to be. Yuki immediately getting in here. He is eager. He wants to redeem himself after that game. Proxy Robo? Not to try to feed any suggestions to our players, but Proxy Robo?
Maybe. Oh,
Proxy
god.
Void Ray?
Like I
after getting 2 base like that?
Look, I don't want to pick favorites, but I'm scared for Yuki right now. Like, this is the best of 3, mate. And he's down.
Oh yeah, I'm terrified for him. Blueming seems to be like a very aggressive player, and we'll see if that happens again. Here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the yellow Protoss player coming down from the land of China. He's going to be representing Team Salt, Salty. And it's hard not to feel a little salty after the game number 1. He has so much potential. We've seen him do so well so far tonight. He is looking to redeem himself here, take the series to the ace match. He is Yuki.
And spawning
otherwise
in
known as ReWhite.
the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Chinese Terran player. He is red, representing Team SLT. It is Blueming. Going for a bit of a fake out.
Already starting to bloom.
And we'll see if Yuki falls for it. He does go in, he scouts all over the main base. We'll see, yep, he's gonna check the natural in case it's behind a mineral line, which is another common location to throw down your racks. And, oh, he's checking over to the left. Will he check? It looks like he will.
Oh, that barracks will finish in time. But it does depend whether or not Blueming wants to lift the barracks immediately, or whether he wants to go for the Reaper first. He's going for Reaper first. Okay, Yuki doesn't actually see it, but he scouts the other proxy location, so he's still keeping himself safe regardless.
Exactly, which is a bit of a shame because, like, originally this probe was rallied to check where the racks was, but he changed it at the last moment, and instead he's coming back home. He actually thinks it is a proxy. He's checking all over the place, and this is already a bit of a mind game win for Jackie Love, for Blueming.
It absolutely is. I was gonna say that Yuki, you know, he is just staying safe. This shouldn't hurt him too much, but these are two probes that aren't mining. Over time, it's gonna stack up.
He's even checking the top left-hand corner of the map. Eventually, he will realize, hey, nothing crazy is going on. But as you said, like, this is a lot of lost mining time. This does matter. This does impact Yuki's economy. Not the biggest of impacts, but still, like, every little bit does matter at the highest level of play.
It absolutely does. Meanwhile, we see Blueming going for what I think is colloquially referred to as the Dutch Gambit, following up that proxy fake out with tanks and 3 Raxes.
You were talking about how aggressive he was, and looks like that aggression is going to keep going here with the amounts of tanks and bio that's going to be coming out for Jackie Love. Oh boy, and I'm concerned for Yuki. Yuki needs to scout this. He needs to get into the main. He needs like a sentry for a hallucinated scout or something.
Those options are a little limited at the moment. At the moment, he's waiting for Overgate to finish up. He is going for the Twilight Council, so yeah, we'll have a way of keeping him safe for a while. We'll have a way of, you know, getting some kind of a defense force with Blink. And there's a lot of bio coming out. Important to note is that Blueming, for, well, 1, he's red, but for 2, he's going for the 1 base variant. He is not looking to waste any of his money on SCVs. He is going with every single one of his army units, and he's gonna have way more than I think is safe.
Yeah,
for a Terran player to have.
That's what I'm concerned about. I think Yuki does have an inkling of what's coming his way. Like, he did just probe scout. He saw a tank, and he confirmed that, hey, you still haven't expanded yet, right? So he knows that his opponent is staying on 1 base. He knows that he's prioritizing that tank production. He hasn't seen all 3 Raxes, but I do think he can make a decent deduction of what is coming his way. I'm just concerned because it doesn't look like he's really reacted. Like, he needs more shield batteries. He needs units. He's working on a robo. He needs an army.
Oh no.
Oof.
I feel like I kind of get the idea of the robo. You know, maybe you want to get an immortal out to take some tank damage, or maybe you want to rush in a robo bay if you're completely insane. But the boys are being pulled right now. A couple of bunkers should go up. Yuki is aware of the push coming his way at the very least, but what can he get? Can he get enough in time?
That's the real question. Right now, he does moving forward with his Stalkers. He's trying to chip away at this army, and it looks like he does get a Marine, does get another, but he did lose his Stalker in the end. And what are his defenses looking like? He's getting a 2nd shield battery, which is great. He has a sentry for force fields,
which can definitely help a ton, especially when it's mostly Marines like this. You want to split up the army as best you can, but speaking of splitting up the army, Blueming splitting up his tank so well too. He did not. I really like this. He is not being trigger happy at all when it comes to stim. He is keeping that for when he absolutely needs to use it.
Oh yeah.
For when it is going to be at its most effective.
When it's absolutely necessary. Meanwhile, Blink.
He used Guardian Shield.
He did use it instead of a force field. Meanwhile, the sentry is getting focused down, but there are plenty of shield batteries to help keep it alive. And honestly, like, the majority of the Marines have been taken out, but here come the reinforcements.
Yeah, and that's super scary. A 3rd tank coming in on the way. More and more Marines being rallied across the map. There is 1 SCV left. He could try to get some bunkers. Yuki abandons his position, tries to fight with the high ground. He's blinks around.
Mate, bold move, Cotton. This is a bold move. He's actually not going for a wraparound. He's going across the map. Oh, okay. He turns around. I was about to call him crazy, mate.
He got reinforcements.
He's trying to, but he misses a tank. Oh, if only he was a little bit faster. And now he has been revealed by these Marines. And he's pushing it forward.
And losing these Marines is more than fine right now for Jackie Love. This is the stim that he needs. The tanks shelling away at this army. These stalkers do come in from the back.
Oh, they do.
But the Marines coming to reinforce a little bit. No high ground vision.
Yeah, and only 2 tanks. One of them is so low as well. It looks like he's trying to focus them down, but oh, he does take a lot of shots there. His stalkers do, and can he barely hold on? He gets a warp prism. Mate.
Unable to take the warp prism out. The robo facility does go down. Blueming is controlling this so carefully. These zealots unable to charge forward. The stalkers coming through. So few of them. Very good blink.
Oh god, he does avoid this shot, mate. I feel like at some point you got to pull some boys here. You got to pull some pros if you want to take this out. He dives on top of the tanks. He does take down one of them, but only one.
He dives on top of the tanks and dives the rest of his army straight to hell.
Oh god, exactly. But you know what? That tank is getting lower and lower. Meanwhile, we see another wave. Actually, it's SCVs are coming across the map. That's what I mean. They're like, fight with your probes if you need to. Like, it's going to come down to that.
It really will. This is getting super scrappy. Jackie Love with the much better army, the much higher army supply as well. Yuki can barely produce. Here come the boys, but I think it's too late. They're diving right in front of the fire of the Marines. It's hard to see Blueming throwing away this position.
Exactly, mate.
Even with charge.
I'm just saying that War Prism was so ambitious. GG gets called, and Jackie Love, Blueming takes the series 2-0.
He did it all for you, Jackie. Blueming takes it to the qualifying match. Man, what a great run from Yuki. Taking out Wave 2-0, taking out Hyperion 2-0, but unable to really counter the aggression of Blueming.
Yeah.
Not enough inertia on his side.
I just don't think ReWhite was really respecting that push, mate. Like, going for a War Prism, you're crazy. Like, imagine if he did, you were talking about it earlier. Imagine if he did go for an Immortal, right? Like a tank buster. That's what an Immortal is. Like, maybe he would have
think about it.
Yeah, he would have had like an easier time, you know, pulling the probes a little bit sooner. Going for the wraparound was ambitious, a little bit late, unfortunately. He didn't get a lot of damage done with it. When Blueming realized that the majority of the army was outside the base, mate, he just took that opportunity to go up the ramp. Like, he just pushed on 4. Like, that was amazing decision making, and it's GG.
It's one of those moments where, as a Terran player as well, I wish I can emulate this. It felt like he was going off of instinct there. Sees the stalkers not in position, immediately and go up into the natural ramp. No fear whatsoever. No doubts in his mind. A fearless Terran player, and he's starting to bloom tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In the absence of a lot of our, more favorited players.
Yeah,
it's looking to bloom.
I mean, for me, best of luck to ReWhite. You know, there will be a second qualifier, so hopefully we get to see more of him. Like, he played so well. It's just, unfortunately, against this early aggression, against this hyper aggression, I would say, from Blueming, he struggled a little bit more. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's just what Blueming goes for, if we see more 1 or 2 base play. Aggression? Yeah? Shaking my head, mate.
For Ian?
Ay.